Clerk is a user management and authentication platform that embraces an idea of components as the API. If you want to add a sign in, sign up, or user button to your app, don't worry about configuring and coordinating API calls. Just pop some Clerk components on your page and just like that, working in tandem with Clerk middleware, you now have fully featured authentication and user management. These components render in your layout, and they often look right at home, but you might still want to customize the appearance to bring them perfectly in line with your brand. Most of the time, the appearance prop provides the perfect balance between ease of use and customization. However, there may be situations where you need to access the component markup, which the appearance prop does not facilitate. For example, if you're animating components with frame of motion, or if you have an advanced use case that requires a high degree of customization. If this type of bespoke customization is on your mind, for now or the future, then I'm stoked you found this video so I can show you the beta of Clerk Elements. True to Clerk's philosophy of components as the API, Elements provides unstyled UI primitives that makes it easy to build custom user interfaces on top of Clerk. I know it looks really bare bones, we'll spruce it up in a second, but here's an example sign-in flow using Elements that verifies credentials, handles the confirmation email step, and ultimately creates an active session before redirecting the user. Then there's the behavior you might not really see at first, like form validation and the errors co-located with their inputs, or handling OAuth account transfer flows when the user signs in when they meant to sign up and vice versa. No if statements, no variables, no error handling or state management. Elements gives you all the behavior and only renders the markup necessary for the component to work with no additional styles. This way you have complete control over the design of your components from beginning to end. So how do you style or spruce up Elements components? You can use inline styles, CSS modules, Tailwind. You can use whatever you would ordinarily use to style your components. And if you already have a component library, Elements component supports composition with an as-child prop. This means you can swap out the rendered element with your own and build your authentication UI with existing components. Here's an example from the Clerk documentation using shadcn UI. I'm including a link to this in the description, but you can totally imagine how this could work with your own component library. Notice the one-time password input primitive in particular. This is a special type of Elements component with a render prop that affords you the fine-grained control to render a custom, maybe animated, segmented input. If you want the power of Clerk plugged into your own custom user interfaces, try the beta of Elements. The next step from here is to check out the documentation, where you'll find more detailed instructions as well as a multitude of examples demonstrating what can be accomplished with Elements. I'm Alex Booker with Clerk, and we can't wait to see what you build with Elements.